rather built, wearing red and black full plate. Following behind him are several paladins wearing full plate, uh, their face obscured. And following those paladins is a cleric with a very obvious symbol of Rathmore, the god of war and conquest. After that group sits down, you also see entering a small gnomish fellow with scraggly white hair and a scraggly white beard, followed by three metallic humanoids. One very large one smaller but uh, more versatile looking, and one slender, stealthy, robotic humanoid.
I give him a wave.
You give him a wave. The gnome does remember you, and he waves as he goes and sits at one of the tables with all of his constructs.
Do you have any more birdies?
The gnome kind of goes shh as you see coming in blue and gold armor with griffin head pauldrons on their armor are 20, 30, 40 soldiers coming through the door, followed by
That's not fair.
very flamboyant knight. He looks young, and he looks unexperienced. And you see these knights file around the whole room to keep an eye on the area. I would like anybody who has proficiency in history or history or insight.
How about a 24 in history?
Sorry,
That's
I
pretty
did
good.
that to GM. I meant it for public. I got a 26.
Yes, I do see that. So we have. I wish
clueless.
I could. Can I whisper to just you two? It will. All right. You two know what these soldiers are. They are part of King Andriel's Holy Legion, and they are the top knights of Jord. They are like the equivalent of the Knight's Guard or the King's Guard in Game of Thrones.
Can you spell short?
And they're I don't know if you've ever seen Game of Thrones.
I have. Can you spell short?
It's fine.
Jord,
I get a reference,
Jhord. They are elite knights.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
That's what I figured.
And it's rather surprising because they typically don't leave the king's side.
They're
But
cheating. That's what I'm getting.
whoever that knight is that they were leading in is a big deal.
Okay. And we don't recognize the knight at all.
The knight is wearing a full plate and has his face obscured.
Okay.
So
No, so
there. After that, you see several other groups shuffle in. You see a group of wild-haired, athletic-built humanoids. They look a mixture of half-elf and human, and they're wearing pelts. And following them are three very large dire wolves. As everybody starts congregating around the table, you see there is one spot that is empty. And sitting in front of the empty spot is a symbol and the symbol looks like a sun, half of a sun attached to a crescent moon.
And it's private.
I was looking at this undead thralls. I guess I can't control them right now. I'll be able to control them next level. We'll have additional stuff.
How'd you even make them?
Actually, I mean, I probably I did, but I didn't. I can't. I'm not sure if I would be telling at this point what happened.
Okay.
So are they more like flavor at the moment, or?
Not sure. Not
Okay.
sure.
Just keep them out of my
I mean, okay. So just full disclosure. I
Myself.
am
Gotcha.
a necromancy wizard, so I will be able to do that next level, but not right now. So who knows? Well,
So
your guess is as good as mine.
Anyone that listens to this recording that I'm making is good. Now I see what you're saying, Michelle, because anyone that listens to my recording would get like the spoilers from me, and anybody that watches your stream is going to get your spoilers.
Right. You'll have to watch everybody's stream if you
That's
want the
awesome.
whole thing.
I love it. I didn't realize we were going to be doing that. That's pretty cool, though. Awesome. Okay, so yeah. So Day actually is going to lean over to Zan and be like, I may be mistaken, but that there would be the king's men, and wouldn't be interesting if it were none other than the lord of this realm underneath that mask. Wouldn't you say?
That would be interesting.
During this time that y'all are talking, I'm busy trying to sit on Thorgar's shoulders. I don't know if he's trying to back me down or not, but I'm doing
No,
that.
I am. You sit on your little chair. Look, they even give you a high one so you can like see.
So I don't really hear what y'all are talking about. But I do notice that, and I say to him, I say, but I have some important stuff to talk to you about.
Well, you can.
And I can only talk if I'm close to your ear.
You can tell me later.
Right. It looks like I'm about to cry. But then it also looks weird because I still have the same expression on my face. Please.
Later, when they're all like done here or something.
And then I say a little
Tell
louder. So you'll play with me later behind closed doors. Okay.
Oh, that sounds weird.
You guys keep that stuff private. We don't need to know that.
So, as everybody shuffles to their chairs, food is brought out. The main table has all the dignitaries, and around that table is where all of you guys are sitting, and all the other teams. Directly on the left side of your guys' table is the automatons and the gnome. Directly to your right is the red and black paladins of Rathmore. You hear some small talk going on between the dignitaries as they refer to the last time they had all gotten together for a hunt. You pick out that a few of them, the last time they had been at a hunt was 20 years ago. Several others said that they had been at one 40 years ago, but it has been quite some time since the last hunt, is what you guys gather. You also hear about a unrest in the citizens of Briar Thicket, and the black hair, black bearded gentleman stands up and goes, "You know, I don't really care if they are not okay with our great hunt. We allow them to have their woods, we do not take their land, They can have their pagan religion in their own land, but we are hunting big game. You see another one of the dignitaries stands up and informs him that it would be best to sit down as all of the soldiers in unison grab a hold of their blades. And he sits back down and calms down. Um, the two that had rolled high on history before would know that this individual is Lord Dragonov, who his family are a long line of dragon hunters who their city is just to the east of the Briar Thicket. So there has been quite a bit of tension throughout the years between the denizens of the Briar Thicket and his country folk. But as the night goes on, seems like tempers kind of die down. Drink starts to lubricate the conversations. You all, of course, are fed very well. Did we lose Gregory?
No.
Who is that?
If you can't see him, I have to reconnect.
Oh, no. For some reason, one of the chat boxes went in front of Gregory's face.
Oh, okay.
So you all are fed like kings. All sorts of meats, vegetables, fruits, bread. They bring out delectable desserts at the end of the meal. And you see several of the teams break apart, some going into the library to do research, some heading down to the fighting pit, a few heading over to the bar to drink away the night, several going off to buy rooms.
Did that tiefling? Was it a tiefling come in?
She is. She's actually sitting away from all the group. She's sitting alone at a table across from you guys, over in this direction. And she's just sitting there staring over at you guys' group.
I kind of, without looking at her, I alert everybody, sort of thing, and then say, that tiefling over there, watch her, she's tricky.
It's somebody you met before, then.
She charmed
Yes,
him.
unpleasantness when we got here.
Ah,
And
fell
then
for the
she-
old charm, huh?
And then she didn't feed us.
That's the worst
Something
part.
like that.
Yes, it was unpleasant. I don't like being tricked.
She must be a wizard or sorcerer or something. Because she used other types of things. Maybe bard. I don't know. But it looks like she went magic.
Well, that makes sense.
Did I
Since
I
you
find
did-
any more information about anybody
About her?
else?
Oh yeah.
Well, I was while everybody was there, I was trying to figure out who to watch out for, like who's going to be the most of a threat. You know,
Make an
killing this
insight.
dragon.
There is at one point word does go around the groups that it is permitted to fight amongst groups. In fact, what better way to ensure your victory than take out the rest of the groups?
I asked if we
Just wait for one
accidentally
group to do
kill
all the hard
one.
work.
If we kill them, will they be okay? And they said yes.
Interesting. So they could be doing the same to us.
Yes.
So with that 10 insight, the dark-haired man with the red and black paladins, he puts off a few red flags in your head, as well as the platinum and blue knight, who, when he does sit down at the table, he does remove his helmet. The two that had rolled really high on history, you are looking at the son of the King of Jord.
Well, I suppose I was incorrect in my assumptions. And isn't that the way of the such things?
Well, it's even worse, I think. So does that mean we allow him to take the kill?
No.
Nah.
Yeah, I noticed that he had King's men too, but that's not fair. I think we
I mean-
should just stick it in his face.
If he rightfully gets it, then, fine, whatever, but... I mean, if we get it first, then...
He'll probably try to kill us. He
We
has
ain't giving
lots
it to
of
him.
men. It seems unfair.
He'd need more than that.
So, is there anything in particular that each of you would want to do, alone or as a group?
Yes.
But one thing I will say before we move on is Thogard did point out a tiefling, a white-skinned, I believe I'm saying this correctly, right? A white-skinned tiefling who has a very, very fancy robes on and seems to be flipping through a book. And she does look up at your guys' group several times while pretending to read.
Yeah, she's a bit of a snoop. She kept doing that to me before.
I just think she likes us. Either that or she recognizes me.
Maybe she's
I don't know.
gonna scry on us. I want to ask what I wrote earlier in chat. If
Yes.
that's a yes or a no.
Yes,
Okay.
they do bring milk for you.
And no, I mean earlier.
Oh.
When they was looking up the dragon, I went to find out the other information.
Oh, yes. For the first part, no.
Okay.
Well, wait.
That makes sense. Well, I try regardless. But it makes sense.
You don't
that I
find
would-
anything about that name,
Okay.
but what you did see does look like a lich.
Interesting. Okay.
Okay.
I mean, in my mind, there could be good ones. So, like, I still think he's a great guy, or it. I don't know.
He gave you friends.
Yeah, pretty much. Like that's like he's awesome in my book as far as I'm concerned.
All right.
Yeah, at least so we can party up.
Interesting.
So,
Or at least have some assurance that we're not going to get backstabbed by them.
Right. I was just, we were talking, I have, in my background, I'm the adventurous scion, right? Celebrity adventure scion. And a feature for that is called name dropping.
Ooh.
And so basically, it says, a bunch of powerful people across the land. Some of them might remember you. You might be able to wrangle minor assistance from a major figure in the campaign. I would like to try to maybe go around the room, see who's there, who looks like a major figure around here, and kind of talk to them, tell them about my family, see if they know us maybe, and talk to them about maybe some type of alliance.
oh, all right. So which group would you like to approach first? The gnome with the automatons, the paladins, the prince.
I think when everybody was walking in,
The
I would
Western
have
poncho
definitely
guys.
been. I would have definitely been like.
They
letting
are
everybody
sitting in
know,
there.
like whispering
They-
to them, like going like, "Hey, these people, from when
Gisela.
I found out about them, this person, So they would know which ones to look out for." the same.
Gisela, you
Okay.
you actually bring up a good point. They were sitting behind the spot where at the dignitaries table was empty. And you see that one of them is not currently with the rest of them, and they seem very restless.
Then I would probably give that information to Thogar, and then he probably would have given that information to Zan. Yeah, I think so. Because, I was talking about the, Eric von Lichtenstein, the Western Poncho guys.
Yep.
Yeah, so that's what I'm talking about. So I would say, hey, maybe talk to them.
Any von Liechtenstein's got to be good, right?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, and I would have told
The
them.
made-up name.
This is what I call myself.
Oh.
So yeah, that's what I'll do. I'll travel over that way, and especially see if anybody's been drinking and a little bit inebriated.
You're heading over to the ones that didn't have a dignitary with them.
Yeah, if that's the way I was directed.
Okay.
So, yeah.
She was that was the one that she was pointing out to. As you walk over, one of them stands up and meets you about 15 feet from the table, and he goes, "What can I do for you, friend?"
Hello, well met. Yeah, I just wanted to come over and introduce myself. My name is Zan Riovar. Perhaps you've heard the name before.
I'm not from around these parts, but
Well, we're kind of known worldwide. My uncle was a great adventurer, and I'm hoping to follow in his footsteps. Yeah. So what I was really looking at here is maybe my group and your group can have a sort of alliance and protect each other while we're out there looking to best this dragon.
well, actually, now that you mention it, we happen to be shy a sponsor. So it's either we find a group to tag along with or withdraw.
Ah, interesting. Perhaps I can talk to our sponsor and see if we can get you in with our group.
Are these folks associated with the sun and moon symbol?
Yes. They are the ones that didn't have a sponsor. They were in the area for the champions, but they didn't have their lord with them.
And did they overhear any of Zan's conversation with them?
Well, there was a whole conversation where Gisela told Thogar and Thogar told Zan, so I assume you were around one of them when it was said.
Mm-hmm. But I mean, like, did I hear what he just told them, maybe, or? Let's say I've been lurking.
Yeah, maybe you like
certainly
came up
say
behind or whatever.
You
Yeah,
have
you probably were.
So I'm gonna take this moment to sort of slide forward. Is it just that group and us?
It's actually just one man. He's 15 feet from the table with several others.
Okay.
He's wearing a poncho and a riding hat. He has a piece of cloth, kind of goes over his face, but he had pulled it down when Zan had walked up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So similarly, I'm going to like make it difficult to observe the conversation I'm about to have with him and Zan.
All right.
And so I sort of not mysteriously or anything, just subtly slide over, and I'm going to say to him that I regret to inform you that it is possible your lord has met with some nefarious end. I found this, and I produce a signet ring that has the same symbol on it.
As he takes it, he goes,
I found this on a... Did I find it on the body? Was this one of the bodies we returned?
You found it on the male's finger.
Okay.
There was a male and a female in the cart.
So I found this on the ring of a gentleman who had been murdered on the road to this town. He and the woman he was traveling with have been brought to be, well, properly buried or given last rites and such. I am not a priest, as you may have guessed.
So if I'm to catch your drift, you have had them properly interred?
I mean, so as I'm going to relay whatever information I know from the cart driver, like what I had given him as sort of like paid him to take care of. Say, you are correct, sir. I paid the driver that was bringing myself and another into town. We happened to cross some of those vile kobolds, tried to purloin some coin from us to their own demise.
Well, I appreciate your due diligence with bringing this to me. I have to go speak to my boss. Will you be in the hall for the rest of the night?
But of course.
All right. And you see he goes over to the table, whispers something to the other gentleman, and they all get up and walk to the door.
I think I'm gonna go back to Bargast and let him know what I'm planning. Would be probably the best thing. I'll see if
Barcroft?
Yeah, Barcroft. Sorry. To see if he will be willing to take on the Western Poncho guys.
Knowing that he can't pay him, but
he's a few steins in, and he as you walk up, he goes, "Well, if it isn't Zan, what can I do for you, friend?"
Oh, excuse me. I apologize.
Yeah, hi. So I've been talking around here, trying to meet some of the other teams and stuff. And this group over here, the guys wearing the ponchos and stuff. Those guys seem to be without a dignitary, without somebody to have them here, have them be able to participate in the Great Hunt. So it seems that they're looking for somebody who would help them in that situation, so they didn't have to quit. They're more than willing to come join us. Would you like to have them?
I've got to say, I'm rather surprised that they don't have a sponsor.
Well, I think they did, and something may have happened to them. Day over there said that they might have met a bad end, in fact.
Alright. Well, perhaps I'll speak with them later. Right now, I'm a little too tipsy to make a business deal, you know.
See, that's why I don't drink a lot in these situations, because you never know when you need to get in there and talk to some more people, which I think I still need to do. I want to create a couple more alliances for us so we don't get stabbed in the back while we're out there.
He just shamed you.
Ooh,
You know,
how many of them?
I'm a dwarf. I drink. It's kind of part of my culture.
How many of them were there
That's racist.
that wanted to join?
Yeah, how many were there? I don't know.
Like saying
At the table
population's
there
like
were 3, but you, Gisela, would know there were 4 altogether.
Then I probably would pipe him and say, "No, there were 4."
There you
Well,
go.
I mean, that just cuts down on how much money we get, doesn't it?
Well, how about this? How about we work together, and then if we're the last 2, then we fight.
Last two groups or last two
Yes.
people?
Last two
Yeah,
groups. Maybe
I
not
agree
to
with that.
kill, but just to see who wins.
Like I said, I'm all here for more fame for my family. So, my venturing group would win. That would be great for me.
Reed, did you catch what I said?
No, this
I
part
said,
like,
maybe we'll just work together, and then if we're the last two, then we just like basically have a duel to see who can win it all. Maybe not to kill, but you know.
yeah,
Yes.
that sounds fun.
But
So Zan, you would like to
if
approach?
something happens, I can always make new friends.
That's true. I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Don't
Suzanne,
bugger off, you're two down.
you'd like to approach other groups there, Zan?
Yes. Now that I have a list of all the groups, and thank you, by the way. I want to probably. Well, here I know this group, the Poncho guys. They don't have their tutorial. Having them join us would help us out quite a bit, I think. But some of the other ones, I just want to go up and introduce myself and actually try to make kind of an alliance with them. At least one other big group. And what do you think, guys? Talk to the Riding Wolves guys, or
So as you approach those ones, they seem to turn, and you watch as they're looking at you, but their heads are also shifting, looking around at everybody else as they're moving. They kind of look like a cornered animal, and you see as you approach, one of them kind of puts his hand up and just shakes his head no.
put my hand up. All right.
Who was that did that? Who was that said no?
That was one of the wild folk.
Okay.
And you see after you start backing up, you realize what he was doing was warning you, because you see underneath the table there are 3 dire wolves that were all just about to pounce on you.
Interesting.
So I kind of like motion him. I say, like you want to come here?
The one that motioned to you looks at the rest of them. You see he kind of makes a few hand motions and then gets up and walks over towards you.
Do I? Is there any way to tell what he said from the hand motions? Is it?
Do you know Thieves' Cant?
Nope.
It is a variant of Thieves' Cant.
Gotcha. I'd probably at least knows that, even though I don't know it.
Did
Yeah.
they see it?
I'd say that you're panning around the room quite often, especially since you're not talking to anyone at the moment. Yeah, you see that one of these wild folk kind of does this and to the rest of the group, and as he gets up and goes and speaks with Zan, the rest of them get up and walk away with the wolves and leave the tavern. And as he's standing in front of you, Zan, he's waiting for you to say something.
I say, well met. My name's Zan Riovar. I'm sure you've heard of me. I've been around a little bit, and I'm from the clan Riovar. That's my uncle's name. He was a great adventurer. Anyway, I thought I'd talk to you guys because I'm looking around here and I'm trying to find somebody else that's a strong group. I would like to suggest making an alliance so that we don't get backstabbed here from some of the other groups. And I found your group somewhat menacing, and I thought maybe that would be a good fit for us.
As you finish, he goes,
Do that again?
he goes,
Ah, you don't speak then. Ah, that's interesting.
he opens up his mouth and you see there's no tongue.
Ooh. That's not a good sign. Maybe we shouldn't rely with a traitor who like says stuff and gets caught and gets his tongue taken out for his talking. I'm assuming a lot.
Can you write? I don't understand the language that you're speaking. So if you can write, we can still talk.
So he will start to write.
I'm sorry,
It is
excuse
very
me.
broken. You can tell that this person does not have a formal education, as his letters are probably the size of his hand.
He's using thieves' cant though to communicate.
Yes. He's using a variation of these cant. As you're
Okay.
watching him, you can decipher it. It's like broken thieves cant. It's like somebody's talking with a slur. And the only thing he's really said is, well, I can actually do this. Look at that.
And it disappeared.
It's useful.
This is honestly the first time I've seen it used.
Really.
It's kind of neat.
When I GM, I used to use it all the time.
Okay. All right. So as he's standing in front of you, are you just going to back up after seeing him reveal that he has no tongue, or are you seeing that he can barely write either? He's not very illiterate. You see his letters are big, and he has to grab several pieces of paper to write out a word.
Do I get the feeling that he understands what I'm saying?
You get the feeling he's probably picking up every third word. You can also tell that
Friends, no kill.
Oh no.
Sorry, trying to make up like mime things, like don't kill me.
at this point, he kind of just smiles at you and nods, and then turns and walks to join the rest of his group. Now, the only ones that are in here are the Tinkerer, the Red and Black Knights, and the Prince, who is speaking with a small group of his guard.
I start kind of gather our group, and I'm like, I don't think talking to the prince is a good idea. What do you guys think?
Probably not with his people around him.
I think
Maybe they won't be going with him on the hunt. Maybe he'll be just taking like a smaller retinue.
no. He's probably cowardly. Do I know that? Like, just history-wise.
You rolled a really high history check when you were looking up information about that before. He's young, and you would know that he's just barely hit his adult years. He's in his early 20s.
Does he seem like he's either easily manipulated or easily kind of
Insight
runs
check.
into battle or without thinking? All right, yeah.
Yeah, that would be an insight.
He's the one that came in kind of floundering too. wasn't he?
Yes, he was very flamboyant.
Right.
With a natural 20, you can tell that he's putting on a bit of a show.
Okay.
You can also tell that while he's putting on this show, he's also When he first entered, he did a 5-point room scan.
Mm.
He's trying to make it look like he's less of a threat than he actually is.
Okay. That's actually really good information. Okay.
Found me.
Yeah.
That's what a natural 20 gets you. So,
So I say, you know, I was sitting here and he kind of acted like he was like not a big deal, but I think he's pretty dangerous.
Interesting.
Spoiled kids will do that.
Yeah. I just really don't think he'd want to, join with us or have an alliance with us. I can go try to talk to him, but
I don't think you should.
And I wouldn't bother with the paladins either. There, something's up with them.
Yes.
yeah,
They were weird yesterday.
we're obviously going to have to keep an eye on ourselves no matter what, even with this other group that might be joining us. If we don't, we just, I don't know what's going to happen. Just got to keep our eyes open.
Gone, right? The other gnome, the Tinkerer, he's gone, is he, or is he still there?
oh, he's still there. He's there, and he seems to be working on some of those small birds.
I kind of point over to him, like, huh?
He's a decent fellow. What's some
You also
items
see a
on it?
group of bards start to play as the sun starts to fall and the evening begins.
The good thing about it is, I think those machines of his only do what he tells them, so don't have to worry about lots of people, thinking that they can better other people. If you know what I mean. But seems like a decent sort.
Well, yeah, that's I was like, all right, I'm gonna go up to talk to him, and maybe he'll want to join us. If you guys say he's decent, he's got to be, right?
So, as you walk up to this small gnome, he seems to be tinkering on a small aviary device. It looks like a small bird. And as you approach, he sets it down, and he has these large goggles on, and he turns his head to you and goes, "Well, hey!"
Hey, well met. I was just talking to my party over here, and they said you were quite a decent fellow.
I like to think I am.
Great. As you, I believe you know Gisela and Thogar already, at least in passing.
All right, love you too. He goes,
Love you.
sorry. He goes, yeah, they bought a couple of birds.
Nice. Yeah. So we were talking alliances in this great hunt. I understand it's fairly dangerous, and I understand that different parties can actually attack each other. I'd rather that not happen with us, and I wanted to see if you wanted to join into a slight alliance here to at least get to the dragon and see who can best it at that point. If we want to go further, that's we can decide that at that point.
I
What do
want
you say?
to roll a persuasion check.
All right, let's see. I got it here.
Nice.
That's actually really good. He goes, well, I'm going to let you in on a little secret. These are prototypes. And if they do well, then I can sell them as mechanical guards.
Ah, that's really nice. They're definitely they definitely look pretty neat. What all can they do?
He goes, well, this one, he points over at the bigger one. He goes, I can lift anywhere from 500 to, I believe the highest I've gotten is 1,800 pounds. He's very large. Measures at 800 pounds himself. He's also 8.5 feet tall. And you see this very large Goliath-sized Warforged. Very, very thick arms, thick legs. And he goes, and that one right there, he points over at the medium-sized one. He goes, it's a versatile fighting mechanism. And he goes, and this one, he points over at the slender, more dangerous robot, and he goes, that one is more stealthy, better for infiltrating.
Ah, that sounds pretty nice, actually.
Yep.
Do they speak themselves, or are they just
Nope.
do as you command, or how do they function?
They function with these, and he pulls out these small command rods. He goes, if you holding on to these, it'll listen to you, and anybody who's not holding on to these, it won't.
That's extremely specific. Thank you.
It's extremely specific.
And he sees he puts the rods back into his jacket, and he spins around, puts back on his goggles, and starts fixing a little broken wing on a bird.
So, about that possibility for an alliance out in the field?
Well, I'll do you a favor, because you came over here and talked to me so nice. If I run into you in the field, I will not kill you.
Better than nothing.
That would be extremely helpful.
But with this being the debut of my creation, I kind of want to do well.
I want to see your creations at work, actually. So look forward to having us near you when they're working, because I do want to take a look at it.
I hope you are not too close.
Well, I consider standing near you not too close to them, right?
That sounds like a good way to think.
All
and
right.
he spins over and starts working on this little mechanical bird, and you see as he's winding it up, he stops winding and it starts to fly away.
Oh, that's beautiful. Well, it was nice talking to you. Thank you so much.
Anytime! And he starts pulling out some more stuff to work on, more little odds and ends. At this point, you see the group of paladins and the priest are all speaking with the black-haired individual who then leads them out. Probably staying somewhere a little fancier than the guild hall, or the grand hall. The only people that are left in the hall are the Tinkerer and the Prince.
Is there can I discern any reason why the prince is sticking around? Is he still drinking?
He has a small goblet of wine, and he seems to be kicked back, relaxing, listening to the bards play in the guild hall, or the grand hall. Sorry.
Kind of talk to everybody, and I'm like, wonder why he's sticking around so long. Isn't it kind of odd that he isn't taken off to a better place than this?
Balgraf looks over and goes, "Not sure. Maybe he likes the environment."
Or he's trying to feel us all out.
How's Bogorth doing? Is he under the table yet?
Oh yeah, he is like he's laying underneath the table, literally. And then as you ask if he's under the table, he goes, "I think I could still keep up with you." He gets back up, drinks down a little bit more, sets it back down, crawls back under the table.
How am I?
You're okay down there, right?
I like to be closer to the ground, especially when you're above it.
I've got like 7 on him.
7. What?
And he crawls up and goes, "Yeah, but you're drinking milk."
That's a strong substance, you know. A lot of cows died for that, or sheep, or
Semantics.
whatever.
So, as you all start to wind down, is there anything else you want to get done before?
Yeah, I asked a question earlier.
And I totally did not.
No, it was to Gregory's character,
Oh, yeah, I saw that.
but he didn't respond.
You're muted.
I'm sorry.
All right.
So he would say, you're asking him if he's from here, right? That's
You said
what
you're high elf, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I asked you that specifically.
Yeah. So he would respond like, no, I've traveled quite some distance in my days. I've sought to see the world, as it were. It was a little stifling with those that I was raised with. They didn't, well, we didn't see eye to eye, as it were.
Are you old?
Is he old? He's
Yeah.
yeah, he's
That's
probably
what he's asking me.
yeah. He says, well, I've probably seen far many more moons than you have, my friend.
Yeah, I bet.
Well, I ask.
I have seen the turn of one, but not quite yet 2 centuries.
That you're talking about moons.
Well, I mean,
As you say that, Balgraf looks up and goes, "Wow, you're older than my dad."
Well,
might be, my friend, might be.
I was just wondering because I live here and you're not like them.
Like who, my friend?
I just started drinking the milk.
Balgraf kind of looks over at her and looks over at you and goes, "She might be talking about the locals at the Briar Thicket. They were mentioning that they were a little uneasy. They've been having a bit of a difficult time. There's something that's been wrong with the wood for a while. It's almost like a sickness. Black veins going up their throat. Some form of corruption. But with you not having all that, I assumed you weren't from the thicket."
Quite right. I am unfamiliar with this thicket you speak of.
That would be the Briar Thicket that we'll be heading into. It has another name, but I don't really remember what it's called.
I drink some more milk.
So this briar thicket makes people have black veins?
Well, not exactly. It's the folks that live there. When you're exposed to it long enough, it's some form of corruption. I mean, there are many of people who have gone into that thicket hunting beasts, mythical creatures. I mean, it's easy to run across a hydra, chimera, and a manticore in the same day.
Well, if my research has served me, I would suspect that perhaps yonder dragon perhaps is adding to said corruption.
Well, that would make a bit of sense, because it's rather recent, probably the last 4 to 5 years.
But I despair that might suggest yon dragon is far more powerful than we have led to be believed. We have been led to believe.
Well, I mean, it was seen probably a month ago, and it was looked like a young green dragon. The size of a card, maybe a little bigger. Most certainly wouldn't fit in a stable.
Well, if it's grown at all, that just means that we'll have more friends to collect on the way.
I must say, I like her style.
Yeah.
I mean, as long as you all are close range fighters, I mean, I'm good with a crossbow, as Thogar here could probably attest to.
Better than me.
He helped make Oldie.
Because, but I actually I like our chances. You know,
I
kind
can
of
do
hoping
long range.
I'm kind of hoping that one or two of the other teams meets up with the dragon before us. Weaken it a little bit.
That's no fun.
Oh, since we're talking, I'm a wizard. What are you all?
Well, I I have magic as well. Similar to sorcery and wizardry. So I'm kind of in those classes.
You don't want to say?
I thought I just answered.
That means you're a warlock. Okay, how about you? She doesn't know, but that's what she guessed. It's like KG people are warlocks.
Thogar reaches behind his chair and just picks up this big orcish great axe. It's very ornately carved and has some like tribal imagery on it and stuff like that. And I just hit things with this, and I can like talk to animals and stuff. So leans back and puts it down.
I have probably more in common with the warlock.
Well, I'm a fair hand with a blade or a bow, and I'm quite adept at staying unseen. Don't worry, my little dear. I've got a few tricks up my sleeve. And like sparks kind of like shoot out into the air.
You seem shifty. I guess you're a rogue. She just insults everybody. Not on purpose. That's just what she does.
You are only 10.
Yeah, pretty much.
I can understand.
Pretty much. 10-year-olds are. Ugh, they're awful sometimes.
They're awful a lot of times.
You probably would have also noticed before, since he doesn't have a shirt on, he probably has like this big, like this bear tattoo on his back shoulder blade.
Oh,
There.
yeah.
Yeah, barbarian. Bear totem.
Oh, I
Oh,
keep
yeah.
forgetting that I'm.
He hits things.
So what I said was that was just Gregory being silly. If without an RP reason for it, it's all right. I mean, it would be great, but
It's flair.
So, as the night winds down, was there anything else anybody wanted to do before you all wake up in the morning to head out into the Briar Thicket?
I just want to see if I can give the skellies commands, or do they just do their own thing? Like if they're in danger, I try to see what happens
As you start exploring with your
with that
opportunities
book.
with those, they. Oh, you're gonna open up the
I'm
book
gonna open up the book too. I'm gonna do both of those things.
in front of everybody.
No, this is like at night before we
Okay.
go to the next morning.
Thank you for telling me. So, as you go to bed, are you in Thogar's room?
Oh yes, I bullied my way in there. But I wait till he. I bully my way into
Eldar,
his room, but
I
I
need
can't
you
wait
to
till he goes
roll
to
a
sleep.
perception check.
I can hear you. What's going on?
I need you to roll a perception check.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
because I'm in your room right now. I bullied my way back in your room again.
Okay,
I was
we
gonna
don't
do
need you.
something before we left.
Okay,
Good thing.
it's okay. We don't need you.
So,
Oh, that's good.
uh, as you open the book, a dull purple glow illuminates the pages because it's nighttime, and as it illuminates the pages, glyphs appear. As you flip through, a lot of them are complex, and there's about 10 spells in this book that are more complex, and at the back, there is a very odd spell because it's not a normal spell. Do you have any more friends in your bag?
Yeah. I've got. If you look on my character sheet, I put it in bio. What was in the bag? It says bag of holding under treasure, and I have a dead squirrel, rabbit, rat, a spider, a bat, an owl, and a cat. Just one of the things I have been like collecting. Ooh, I just put it
So
in the bag.
you find a ritual that you sacrifice a small amount of your it's a blood ritual. You
Okay.
sacrifice a little bit of your blood. You will feel weaker after doing it, but it will allow you to cast I want to say it's the spell animate dead. It's the lower
Um,
level spell.
I get that eventually. Just to let you know, I get that
Yeah, this
at
is
sixth
this is
level.
um this
So
is a type of elven high magic
okay,
that this individual has given you.
okay,
It's the lower level animate dead or whatever reanimate.
okay.
Um,
Yeah, that's a
and
third level spell.
yeah, so you take a certain amount of damage
Okay.
and you can reanimate. You can cast the spell reanimate without using a spell slot,
Oh,
but
nice.
your hit points are
Mhm.
reduced by that amount until you get a full rest.
Okay. Is it 2d10, 1d10? Do you have any kind of like a?
It is half that person's hit points.
Okay, so
So if you tried to do it to a dragon, you die.
gotcha. Okay, so
But
like
if you did it to a
the
kobold,
cat
you
is
clean.
yeah, Cobalt is I don't know how many
Like
hit points.
6 hit points,
Okay,
6 or 7.
so then like I take 3. Okay,
Yeah.
so okay, I'm gonna write this
Or
down.
like a cat, you take one, and you'd have to wait a full day or a full night rest
Okay,
before you gain that one hit point back.
long sleeve. Okay. Also, this probably doesn't affect now. But at sixth level, um, I add like their stuff because as a necromancer, you add stuff
Mhm.
to it, and I'll show you what it is later, and it'll give better hit points to the zombies or whatever, and they hit harder.
Yep.
So I'll let you see that. But this is for right now. This is what this is. If I
Yep.
use it, then I okay. All right.
This is just like it's like Sorak had known that you had been wanting a way to make animated friends, so he made you a ramshackled spell that has is a double-edged sword.
Okay, no problem. How many times can I do it? That's my next question. I mean, I don't think I
Well,
want to
you
do it till I die, but I'm saying like, is there
exactly.
like a
Each time you do it, the amount of damage you take is subtracted from your maximum hit points till you sleep.
okay, okay.
So,
So
however many times that you
I
want
want to
to,
try, then yeah,
yeah,
no worries. Okay, so for these two that came alive, did some of my hit points go away with that?
those were freebies.
Those are freebies. But if they die and I want to bring them back, then
You
all
take three
right,
hit points
got it, got it.
per friend.
Also, are you going to control them, or did you want me to control them?
You can command issue, or you can command them to do certain tasks. If you don't, then they will still act normally in combat.
Okay, okay,
Like if you forget, I will still have them run over and attack someone or
okay,
something.
yeah. Because I'll have that level 6. I mean, level 6. I'll have that anyways. But I was just saying that also, like, if you want to not have to have another extra thing to do, if you give me access to it, then I can, move them around or click them when they need to hit something or something like that.
I would say when I make the tokens, I'll make it so that you can move them.
Okay. Alrighty, that's it. Thank you.
Just quick
Interesting.
reads and fast.
There's a lot of good ones.
Right?
Ooh.
Yeah. Anyway, I'll
So,
tell it another
Does
time.
anybody else want to do anything before the next morning?
I was gonna make Balgroth go unconscious
He does.
because I was gonna play a game with him using my weighted dice, and I was gonna make him pass out from drinking too much.
I would say it doesn't take him long because he was already really drunk. Before he passes out, though, you see he picks up the dice, stares at it for a second, rolls it around in his hand, and goes, "You fucker," and then falls asleep on the table.
I did not do anything that was anything like that at all.
Where did Zan go?
And I picked them back up again.
So, Gar, you would see me talking to a cat that has like it doesn't have all its fur and stuff like that. But I'm talking. I'm petting it and talking to it.
Look,
Freaking pet cemetery over there.
Yeah,
Pretty
I'm
much.
wondering what.
look,
This would be in this room, like when we were like,
Geese, look.
yes.
This room's starting to stink. I don't want anything else that's dead in here. Okay, I gotta sleep. If you get anything else dead, you're getting your own room.
But they don't
Okay.
have a smell. It's all up here.
No, they do. They stink.
No.
Like that cat. No.
Okay.
Okay. Almost
I say bye bye, kitty. I love you, and I put it in the bag of holding. It's gonna die like in 10 minutes.
Actually, no, because it is a reanimated corpse. They do not breathe or have to eat.
Oh yeah. Okay, then they just
Technically,
get stuck in
it's just floating in the bag.
there. Okay, I will pull him out. I will pull out the kitty, like when we're like probably out and about where it's not so, I don't want to lose my spot.
Is
in
it gonna
the
be?
room.
Is it gonna be okay in that, or is?
I'll give it a toy. I look around for something. I find like a little piece of like a dust bunny kind of in the corner, and I throw that in there. Like, here's your toy. I throw that into the bag of holding.
Okay. Well, go to sleep.
Okay. I attempt to get into the bed when you turn over to try to not disturb you. Because the floor wasn't very comfortable the night before.
It's like I sleep up on the pillow, curl up.
I do. Right behind you. Like if you were to turn over, we would be face to face. It's like, and I'd be like, hello.
I don't turn over.
Okay. So now I'm going to do that.
Do you even sleep? How can you be like awake all the time, just waiting for me to turn over to be like, hello?
I probably,
No,
I would,
sleep.
I would say I don't sleep very comfortably. So, yeah. Too many creepy things around. They don't creep me out, but I have to make sure that they're comfortable too, because they're friends. Gregory So is doing something else. You're on mute. I can't hear you.
I could get like the blanket and like tie it to the roof, and then you can just like have a hammock.
Oh my gosh, I keep clicking, like I move my mouse, click the screen, but it's like not unmuting me, so I keep thinking I'm unmuted, and then I look up and I'm like, dang it, It's still muted.
Yeah, it takes a
So
second. I think.
yes, I was distracted for certain, and yes, I was also trying to say that it was funny because John Wota was saying, um, that he was like feeling a little left out because he hadn't been,
Yeah.
had a DM chat yet. I haven't used that feature. It's so cool. I'm stoked about what they did with the Zoom. Did you guys check out the change?
Yeah, and did you say they also
Yes and
added
no,
in
I'm
you
confused.
can make your own condition tokens?
I heard
that
about it,
as
but I
well.
haven't looked into that
That was
yet.
kind of like hidden. It was kind of like hidden. You go into, so you just click on like Roll20 and you go to, I think it's tools. So you're not in a game. You go to
Right.
tools and you
Right,
can
right.
create your own
So like
thing. And you can also,
stunned or blind or that kind of stuff.
yeah. Those ones like ones where it's like, oh, you want to do that. So yeah, you go to
And
tools
you
and there's
add it on the
token
little button,
marker
right?
library.
Yeah. I saw
Yeah,
that,
it
but I
says
haven't looked into
the
how to
token
do it
marker
yet.
library.
Oh, for
So
real?
the cool thing is you can make your own. You can make your own set. You can import your own like icons, but you can also
Right.
so if there's some from the default one that you like, you can go into
Got
the
it.
default one, click on the ones that you like, and go send to like my list, and then you can
Got it.
add more to your list. So I was making some in that one.
Fuck yeah, I gotta do
That's
that.
cool because
'Cause you have
sometimes
as
you
well-
don't even know what that is. It's like
You know,
I
it's
think
Right.
that
like-
is shield, maybe. Like I don't even.
Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
I'm never gonna use the turret. I'm never gonna use like the turret one. And
Yeah.
like some of them, like for instance, that overdrive one, the one that I used for it looks like the swirly magicy one, and I'm like, oh, I use this for like concentration. When you
Right.
look at the picture, it's like it's called overdrive, and it's got like a gear in the middle of it. I'm like, wow,
Right,
that does not
right,
look
right.
like that's what it looks like.
Oh wow! I didn't
Okay.
even. Yeah. Wow.
Yep.
I didn't even think that's what. That
Yeah,
was.
they're crappy. They're
Sorry.
like really bad. What do you call them?
Mhm.
Icons.
But they don't have like a couple like Zeds for like you're unconscious.
Right.
So
Yeah.
you're
And
asleep.
Sleep
that
and-
would
yeah,
make sense.
totally.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna like add a whole bunch, and I made a thingy that said D&D 5e conditions. So
I meant to do that. I just haven't gotten to it yet myself. One of these days.
Yeah. That's cool.
Oh my god, I slept
Oh.
for 11 hours last night, y'all.
Oh really? You were just like that? Like woo! Oh wow.
Dude,
Wow.
I put in so much time and energy to get through the vlog, the year of the vlog.
Mhm.
Like, it was an hour and a half at least every day. And a lot of times I was scrambling just to get it posted by midnight.
Mhm.
And then if I'm online at midnight, chances are I'm not actually going to go to sleep till between 2 and 3. So that's been the struggle. And like, I think last night it has sort of caught up to me.
Yeah.
I've tried, like, I try not to, even though a lot of times on Sunday, Ajo works, right? So I would basically sleep and let Tashi watch some TV in the morning, which not a great habit, but he enjoys it and it gives
What
me
you
a
gotta
little
do.
extra time
Yeah.
to sleep, right? So, yeah, it was crazy. So then, like last night, I had been feeling it for a couple days, and Audrey's like, "You need to sleep." I'm like,
Yeah.
all right. And so last night, I laid down. I read to Tashi, laid down, and was like, gone for 11 hours. I woke up at like 5:20, and I got up, got a drink of water, and went to the bathroom, and went right back into bed until like 7 o'clock.
Wow.
Crazy. Yeah. Anyway,
Oh,
sorry.
Sorry, y'all. We were discussing.
I was
stuff.
actually
No,
just
come
about to ask if everybody wanted to take a 10-minute breather, use the
Oh,
bathroom,
yeah, that'd be great.
It's a good idea.
and then we will start with our expedition into the Briar Thicket.
Okay, nice.
Tea.
Go to our
Oh, my daughter drew me this